Hi everyone, and today we'll talk about Game of Thrones Kingsroad. Is it a garbage or maybe it's a hidden masterpiece? So let's start from a little preview. There are two franchises in general, Game of Thrones franchise and Dune franchise, and it's literally cursed for good games. I'm not counting Telltale games in Game of Thrones universe because, let's be honest, Game of Thrones, Telltale games, they're really good. Story is quite good, but it's not a game that everyone wants. It's a really good, some sort of interactive movie. It's a really good and really interesting combination and mixture of cutscenes with very rare several buttons for you to press, and in general it's just a very beautiful, very interesting cutscenes. It's not a real game like we want, like for example a real RPG like Assassin's Creed series or Witcher series, where you can simply just make choices by yourself and playing all the time. And come on, almost all of you want it and still want to play a real RPG in that universes. And same sadly for Dune, because with Dune universe, yes, there were several quite good games in Dune universe, but they are really old strategies in Dune universe, or some other turn-based or strategy games again, or recently released Dune Awakening MMORPG, some sort of survival, but still it's online survival MMO with server-wide politics, and it's not directly the game where you can simply just enjoy Arrakis and enjoy that universe with playing directly only story and enjoying the world by yourself. It's a game that makes you play under some other limitations and circumstances, like for example server-wide politics launcher that you need to be involved, and that will influence your play style. And in general it's survival MMO. And same with Game of Thrones. So recently, this new game released in Game of Thrones series, in Game of Thrones universe, and yes, it was once we've got one RPG in Game of Thrones series. It's called Game of Thrones RPG. It's the name of the game, by the way. Quite old RPG, still quite good RPG in all the from all the views. It's quite a good game, but this time it's AAA big RPG with online elements, but mostly story oriented. So what Game of Thrones Kingsroad is? Let's get a closer look. I should say that I love Game of Thrones series, but I'm not a big fan of books. I don't like how they are written. Original material, but I do love series for wonderful acting, and I also love last seasons like a logical conclusion of all lines. Maybe it's a topic for another video. And when we're talking about Game of Thrones Kingsroad, first thing that I need to tell you, it's the game that's selling you nostalgia. They literally starting the game from Jon Snow, and after that you will meet different characters for all the time, with the same appearance from the movie, from the series that you remember, with the appearance of the same actors that were playing in the series. So it's literally starting with selling nostalgia. And in general, story not that bad, and some side quests are even interesting, and sometimes in side quests you can even choose what to do. And as already told you, familiar characters from the series will appear in the game with the same appearance, but heavy monetization. What you waited for, what you expected from the companies that literally produced different money garbage games. I can't them even call games, because it's not a game, it's just a monetizing projects and donating garbage projects. So yes, heavily monetization. And let's start with inventory expansions, because in this game we've got several inventory expansions. It's inventory expansion, basic inventory expansion, equipment inventory expansion, consumables inventory expansion per every consumable separate, and of course you can expand everything by buying it with your real money. And Another option is grinding, but grinding is extremely limited per day and extremely slow, with extremely low chances of getting something. All the drop chances in the game, they are either extremely low, or the activities where you can get something are extremely difficult, where you need to grind a lot or to pay with your real money to become stronger and to overcome these activities. So yes, you can buy all these different expansions for different kinds of inventories, either for real money or to grind for extremely lot, with one of the lowest drop chances I've ever seen in RPGs. In addition to that, different battle passes with tons of useful materials, of course, for real money. There are different season pass, battle pass, etc., etc., additional battle pass, some premium versions of battle passes, as always. But also we've got several subscriptions, achievements pass, it's additional rewards that you get in for finishing and for completing different achievements in the game. In addition to that, of course, from all that subscriptions, battle passes, of course, premium paid battle passes and achievement passes, you get in items that making you stronger. And there are different subscriptions, monthly subscription, yearly subscription, additional subscriptions. You can see it by yourself. So everything you get in from that subscriptions, not only cosmetic items, but also some very useful items that really making you stronger. We'll talk about them a little bit later. And another really interesting system, one of the main problems of the game, because the main problem, quite obvious, it's monetization, is RP system. It's energy system, by the way. When you are playing different side activities, at least one thing good, you can play through the main story, you can try to play through the main storyline without spending RP, without spending energy. You can play it just in a row, but you should be able to play it in a row, but you can't do that because simply just different paywalls and grind walls. But let's be honest, it's paywalls, not the grind walls in the main storyline. So you won't be able to simply just complete the story without paying anything or without sitting for 1,000 hours simply just grinding and trying to overcome paywalls. But almost all the side activities that's really making you stronger. To be able to play through the main storyline, you need to become stronger. And to be able to become stronger, you need to play through different side activities. And almost all the side activities requires RP. It's energy. And of course, that energy is limited. And you need to wait till the next day to get additional RP for your RP to recharge. And if you get low on your RP, if you spend all your RP this day, you can either wait till the next day to become stronger to keep playing the story, or of course you can buy additional RP with your real freaking money, what you expected. And of course, you need, in general, craft requires items with drop chances. Drop chances of these items are extremely low, and farming these items also requires RP. And you need same duplicates for items to make weapons, armor, and jewelry stronger. I mean, tiers, rarity, set, and type need to be the same. So, for example, if you need to make weapon to make, for example, tier 2 7 set blue sword stronger, you need the same tier 2 blue sword to make this particular sword better. And if you want to make purple tier 3 helmet of that set stronger, you need same set, same tier, same rarity, same type of armor to make it stronger. So you need to make different armor, weapons, etc. stronger, you need the same duplicates of the same items with extremely low chances of getting everything, and with limited attempts to farm that duplicates with the RP system. And you're getting items, of course, for RP, for that freaking energy system, with RP limited. And you need tons of duplicates to become stronger to be able to play through that freaking story. And combat system is based on combinations too much, limiting freedom of playstyle. So you need to play through the different combinations, like for example light attack, heavy attack, heavy attack, heavy attack, heavy attack, or for light attacks too heavy, etc, etc. So everything combat system in general is based on different combinations. And it's not only limiting freedom of different playstyles, because you cannot play with something else except for combos. You need to play with the combos, because combos are simply just everything in this game. It's a core mechanic of the game and you can't get away from that. But in addition, there are only several combos in the game, and combat system in general is very varying. And in combat system based on combos are interrupted all the freaking time. And also ping affects combo battle system. Connection to server is extremely terrible. You will see it by yourself. I even have little footage when it's with my internet connection, same internet connection where on which I'm playing pretty everything, and everything is simply just working extremely smoothly. You can see sometimes how bad ping is and how terrible server delay is, and it's simply just you cannot use it combos. Combos are not only interrupted by enemies all the time in battle system, simply just chords around combos, but also it's simply just interrupted by server connection, because it's extremely terrible. It's one of the worst server connection I've ever seen with the highest delay. And also, almost all activities are primitive, boring, repetitive, and unvarying, maybe except for murals. Murals are quite interesting. It's some sort of little puzzles you can get through, and after completing them you get some sort of lore about ancient people, ancient nations, about some sorts of creation of White Walkers and first people, about people first coming to Westeros, reach, etc, etc. It's quite interesting and you might learn something new, but if you've read books or if you've been watching especially last seasons of Game of Thrones series, you can get much more information. In general, still it's quite interesting, I can say. Still, it's not very varying in terms of gameplay, and yeah, it's not the best puzzle activities you can find. By the way, there are much better variants. It's still quite primitive. And in addition to that, in this game there is a 2-set system. So you can use 2 sets bonuses, but you do not wear second sets. Like for example in Elder Scrolls Online, you need to dismantle a lot of items of that, or a lot of items, extremely a lot of items, to get second set bonuses. And after that, you just wear in 1 set, but you can use passively the second set bonus, but again you need tons of items to dismantle, to destroy, to be able to use that second set bonuses. And again, grinds with the limited free RP per day. So to get second set bonuses, you need tons of items to research, some sort of research that second set, to be able to use its second bonus passively. But again, you need to grind a lot to get this second set bonus, and so to get these items, you need to grind a lot again, tons of items, you need to research that bonus. And as always, you need RP to farm everything. This duplicates these items. And RP energy is limited per day, so again, good luck with buying additional RP with your money, or tons of different subscriptions and different passes, season passes, battle passes, achievement passes, monthly subscriptions, etc, or just directly buying RP for you to be able to farm everything. Another quite interesting system is house sigils. It's quite a good concept, but extremely bad realization, because we've got different sigils, it's marks of different grades and lower houses, and with in that particular system, you need to place sigils on different boards, and of course there are only one boards by default you get for free. Other boards you need to either grind a lot to get them again to become stronger, because more sigils you are using, the stronger you are, or of course you can buy them with, of course, your real money, because everything you are doing here is simply just making you to face grind wall, or simply just showing you another way. Of course, it's paying to lower your extremely high grind wall. Sometimes it's impossible grind walls, so you simply just need to pay for something. And here you can also buy additional boards to put additional house sigils, and of course you can buy for that. You can pay for that to get additional house to get additional completely everything, both house sigils and both boards. And what's more interesting, house sigils, it's sigils that you placing on that board, but if you are placing align house sigils together, you will get more your general character power, item level, character power, general strengths of your character. But if you are placing rivalry houses sigils together, you will get a penalty for placing hostiles together. So you need to know which houses are allies and which houses are enemies, which houses are in rivalry relations, because when you are placing such houses, when you are placing allied houses, you will get much more overall item level, overall power to your character, and you will get much more stronger. But of course you need duplicates of different house sigils, you need higher rarity, higher tier rarity of different house sigils, additional duplicates of that particular highest rarity house sigils, and duplicates of that duplicates. And of course you need to grind quite a lot, not to get only highest tier and duplicates of highest tier sigils, but also to get align house sigils of highest tiers with duplicates to make every single house sigil highest tier, highest level, and to place them on the board, so there will be only align house sigils together. And the more boards you get, the higher your overall character power is. And in games there are no information in the game which houses are allies and which are hostile, so you need to simply just check it by yourself and see which house is giving you additional buffs, which house is placing together giving you debuffs and penalties. And what's more important, world chat, it's extremely funny facts about world chat, because world chat needs special consumable to type one message. So to type one message in world chat, again, you need one consumable, one freaking consumable per one message. And of course you can buy this consumable for real money, of course. I doubt in that yet. And what's more funny, of course, there are tons of grind wall and, let's be honest, paywalls in storyline. For example, story quest asks you to become, for example, 30,000 power, but in reality, final boss will be something like 40,000, and you will be simply just made to farm quite a lot or pay quite a lot to become stronger, to overcome this particular place of the story. And every single chapter will put you in a place where you simply just can't do anything but to either come grinding more or either come paying more to become stronger, because in story bosses are extremely tough. And with everything I've been talking about, with combo system affected by server connection, affected by combo interruption by everyone, simply just regular mobs, or of course by bosses, it's simply just unplayable, and pairing and blocking are simply just unusable with such internet connection, with such server connection. and in general it's made and in such a way so you simply can't overcome some obstacles, some bosses attacks. You simply just need to overgrind to become stronger, to simply just melt it with your damage, and it doesn't matter which build you are using. If your level, if your overall power is not enough, boss will simply just melt you, or you won't be able simply just to kill it because you don't have enough power, and to get some power you need to grind a lot, you need to get tons of duplicates to become a lot, and for that everything you need either RP or of course your real money to buy additional RP to get more duplicates, or simply just buy the duplicates from different stores, subscriptions, passes, etc, etc with your real money. Of course, it's quite obvious for that time, for that point of the video. And of course, its unbalanced difficulty forces you to upgrade your gear all the time, even for story. And as always, you can buy RP for money or wait a day to get more RP and to get more items, but again, that items are very limited per day. In terms of limitations you can remove for money, like productions, like expeditions, and by default you're getting only 2 expeditions per 8 hours or 9 hours, but you can get third expedition, and with buying additional subscriptions you will get higher rewards from expeditions, and expeditions rewarding you with a very extremely strong items called artifacts, and of course you need to grind for quite a lot to get the artifacts, because artifacts are coming in different rarity, and higher rarity is better, is giving you more power, it's giving you legendary artifacts, is giving you extremely more power, and of course to make artifacts stronger you need to get freaking duplicates of that freaking artifacts, but you're getting them only from expeditions, and you get only 2 expeditions per 8 or 9 hours if you are playing free, and you get third expedition if you are paying different subscriptions, and you're getting higher chances if you pay in different subscriptions of getting artifacts, you're getting better workers, that's increasing your chances even higher, and same as productions, trading, outpost trading, etc, etc. And all that limitations you can simply just remove for your money, and getting stronger much faster, and simply just getting extremely stronger than if you're playing simply just freely. And paywall looks absurd. It's when you're simply just piercing enemies with 2-handed swords 70 times in a row, and it's not lethal in Game of Thrones universe. Another very interesting thing is world boss Drogon. It's one of Daenerys' dragons. It gives rewards to people with top highest DPS. And if you are dealing not similar DPS to top 5 people in your team, you simply not getting loot. And the more you pay, the higher your DPS. If you're buying all the subscriptions, if you're getting all that advantages, if you're getting all that legendary artifacts, legendary items of highest tier, all the duplicates, you will get higher DPS. If you're getting all the house sigils from different house sigil boxes you can buy directly from other subscriptions, passes, etc, etc, you will get higher DPS simply just directly from buying everything, from getting everything better than everyone else. And if you are not doing that, you will simply not getting loot from that world boss. Just no loot at all if you are not matching top 5 DPS in the freaking group. And almost all the time there are people that already paid quite a lot. And you simply just get in there and you need to wait. Drogon is not a world boss that's respawning every 5 minutes. It's respawning much rarely. And you need to wait for Drogon to appear, to watch how this paywalker simply just melted in just several seconds and gets in simply nothing. I've already been talking about artifacts, that artifacts you need to upgrade, you need to get artifacts from expeditions, chance of getting better artifacts extremely low, you need to get duplicates of that particular artifacts to making you stronger, but also you need to get additional items from expeditions to make your artifacts stronger, not only duplicates, but materials to making your artifacts stronger. But upgrade limits There is also an upgrade limit on your artifacts, and of course you can remove this upgrade limit for your real money or with the extremely rare item that you need to grind a lot. And endgame is also highly paywalled. Endgame here, not only Dragon, I've been talking about the Dragon World boss, but also it's Beyond the Wall expedition. Expeditions also highly paywalls. You need to be quite strong and to be able to finish that activities. And Wormbox, it's also some sort of little dungeons, some sort of kinds of I can say it's not a roguelike or not a roguelite activity. It's some sort like tower that gets harder and harder with every single stage. And Beyond the Wall expedition, it's more like roguelite activity. Again, you're getting bonuses after every single stage, but again, it's highly both paywalled because every single stage is extremely much more difficult, extremely. And Altar of Memories, it's some sort of dungeons. Currently there are 5 dungeons in the game, but also you get limited attempts to get loot from that some sort of dungeons. So again, you can get additional attempts of getting loot with your, of course, real money. What you expect, it's quite obvious. And also in the game, no free visual customization. So if you can see my character with that particular costume and with that particular items, weapons, there are no free customization for that items. You can't buy, you need to pay your real money to change even costume and your appearance of your character. If you want to create your character, you can see your costume, you can see your items, your weapons. You will see it's just all the time. You can't change it. Only with your real money buying additional costumes. Everything, simply just no free visual customization. And also there are tons of NPCs with the same appearance. I've tired of looking or of watching the same My Jewelry Master appearance all the time around the game, around the world. A lot of NPCs with particularly the same appearance, like my particularly Jewelry Master you can see in Remnant's Rest in your own town, in your own base. Also, enemies spawn quite often from the air. Same for ads in the world. Also, they are spawning simply just from the air. A lot of dialogue lines are not voiced through the different side quests and different quests. Tons of bugs, of course. What you expect? It's visual bugs, especially with ladders. Sometimes ladders simply just disappear. Also, auto following on mount is broken. Sometimes your mount is simply just trying to run through the wall and simply just stuck, keep running through the wall. Also, of course, terrible ping, terrible server connection, 500, 800 all the time, and making parry system completely useless, also affecting combo system. And as already told you, in one dungeon I even got 2000 ping. An also awful optimization for mainly its shader issue, and crashes on a quite powerful device. I'm playing on my device. I've played Rainbow Six Mobile, Call of Duty Mobile, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Jade Empire, Delta Force, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, Pascal's Wager, Titan Quest, and Injustice 2 Mobile on ultra settings, and even Call of Duty Warzone, not very optimized game, also runs much better, and still it's sometimes crashes on my device and it's not working really, at least mobile version, it's not working really great, especially with shader issue, like I already told you. And I can't say it's very canonical because, for example, dragons in books, sometimes Daenerys dragons flew away, but so far away north, it's making some questions about how much canonical it is. Still, it's not that much changes in canon. Still, there are some minor things that's really making me question: is it really canonical? Because north, it's quite far away from the places where Daenerys was, especially where Daenerys was with her war with her dragons when she got her dragons. So again, quite a lot of questions about such things. And in general, there are much better alternatives in Game of Thrones style. Of course, it's Elder Scrolls Online, wonderful MMORPG. Assassin's Creed series, games like Odyssey, Origins, Valhalla, and of course Shadows. One of the best RPGs ever created, extremely awesome and wonderful RPGs. Elder Scrolls, of course, 5, Skyrim, Dragon Age, Inquisition, and Veilguard. Of course, Game of Thrones RPG, that RPG I've been talking about. Of course, it's Witcher RPGs 1, 2, and 3. Final Fantasy 16 also in a very Game of Thrones style and even storyline. It's sometimes making you vibes of Game of Thrones overall universe. And also Gridfall RPG, also quite a good RPG with some sort of first people vibes that created White Walkers and Night Skin, also story and overall atmosphere, very similar to Game of Thrones. And even overall vibe and atmosphere of Game of Thrones also very strong in Diablo IV. Because Game of Thrones Kingsroad, it could be a very good project. It's a nice idea in general, but terrible realization. And as a result, it's simply just over-monetized garbage parasiting on nostalgia. So thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to click like button, subscribe for channel if you want more videos like this. Also check out different guides, builds on Assassin's Creed series, Elder Scrolls Online, The Division 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Ghost of Tsushima, Dying Light, and upcoming Dying Light The Beast. Also check our different guides, builds and overviews on other different titles. Check out different playlists with other different guides, builds and overviews. Also check our full recap of Assassin's Creed series Modern Days story. Also check our fully voiced Modern Days story in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Also check our other different guides, builds I already told you on different series. Just check playlist, everything will be in the description and in the tip at the end of the video. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Good luck!